There's a popular thought experiment in philosophy which asks the question of how you value human life. Imagine there's a train going very swiftly down tracks. It's hurling down those tracks. And at the end of those tracks, there's 5 people tied up. The train will proceed to hit those 5 people if you do not flip a switch, which will send it to a single person. And the question is, will you sacrifice the lives of 5 people to not act and commit homicide? Or will you value the numerical number of 5 people, 5 lives, in favor of 1? There are several variations of this thought experiment. There is the fat man. Imagine instead of a switch, there's only 1 track, but you can push a fat man in front of you down a bridge onto the incoming train. The people who will say that they will flip the switch are less likely to say that they will push the fat man, as they see it as more personal. They see the fat man as more innocent, as he is not on the tracks, and they also see the fat man as the act of pushing as a violent act. Another version would be, imagine you are pulling the switch, but instead of just a random person on the other track, it is your child. Are you ready to make that life-altering, emotionally numbing, and destructive decision to kill your own child to save 5 lives? Now, there's a very popular scenario of this. In June of 1954, there was a U.S. broadcast labeled The Strike. It was broadcasted on television, and it follows a commander through the Korean War, where there's an army approaching, but he's got 20 patrol units near the army, and he's got a unit of 500 army men behind him. He is able to call an airstrike, and if he does, he will directly murder those 20 men. But if he chooses not to, he endangers the 500 men on his side. Why does this matter? Because there's scarce resources in life. Food, water, shelter. Not thought about a lot, but vaccines and organs, who gets them? Is it the people who suffer the most? Is it the people who receive organs be the youngest, because they will have the most use out of them, because they'll live for longer? And the second reason why it's so important is it asks people on a personal level, how do you value human life? Will you pull the switch? Metaphorically, will you pull the switch? And the third reason, it's a meta question. You take each individual answer and you take the sum of those, and you get a broader picture of how society would handle, how society values human life. Now, there's two philosophies relating to this. Utilitarianism, which is the sum of happiness and how to choose the greatest sum of happiness. And act utilitarians will pull the lever because they believe that the act of saving one life, saving 5 lives is a better consequence than the act of saving 1 life but killing 5. And rule utilitarianists will believe that maybe you should pull it because it is the best thing to value at a numerical level, the amount of human lives you can save. Or perhaps it is based on setting up a rule for society that you just can't kill. You can't be violent. The second philosophy that relates to the trolley problem is hedonism, which attempts to maximize pleasure while minimizing pain. And quantitative hedonists believe in just numbers. Not numbers in general, but the intensity and the longevity of a pleasurable act of pleasure, while qualitative hedonists believe that the quality of hedonist of a pleasurable act or pleasure is vital to deciding one's actions. And the hedonist will go either way, but the quantitative will have a proclivity towards the numerical value of saving 5 lives while killing 1. They value 5 lives more than 1. And the qualitative hedonists believe that they could go either way. They could choose to value 5 lives, or they could choose to value the act of not killing. Either way, they will. It's a question of weighing the pros and cons. It's like weighing the pleasure of saving those lives versus the pain of taking away those lives. And the trolley problem today is very relevant, especially in the age of artificial intelligence and the prevalence of self-driving cars and military drones. So I have 2 scenarios. The first 2 scenarios would be based on. I took this off TED. TED. I took this off TED. Very good videos based on self-driving cars, which you should watch after this. They are. Imagine a scenario where you're driving down a highway and there's a truck in front of you. Behind you is a sedan, and on your left there's an SUV. On your right is a motorcyclist, and as you're driving along, there are objects, which will definitely do something to your car. And they fall off the truck in front of you, onto you. Do you choose to brake, risking the driver behind you? Do you choose to keep going, risking your own life as these things barrel towards you? Do you choose to swerve to your left? If you swerve to your left, an SUV is very strong. It might minimize your damage, the damage of yourself, while minimizing the damage of the other person. If you swerve to your right, you'll be fully fine, but you'll hit a motorcyclist, and that motorcyclist will go flying. An even harder question to ask is, do you hit a motorcyclist on your left that's wearing a helmet? Or do you hit a motorcyclist on your right that's not? If you hit the motorcyclist on the left, they have a higher chance of being safe. They're wearing a helmet, but at the same time, you're penalizing the responsible motorcyclist who is taking precautions to be more safe. And the third one, the third scenario I have is military drones. The thing we have to preface is that all of these actions are human reactions. So you can say, I shot him in self-defense. My mind just barreled down. I swerved to the left to the SUV because I thought he could just take it. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe we all just crashed. Maybe we both crashed, but I thought he could take it. But computers calculate at such a rapid pace that their decision making is fully sound, and whatever they do is premeditated. So if they choose to take a life or endanger lives of either yourself or the people around you, that could be premeditated homicide. And regarding military drones, which is scenario number 3, there are fully autonomous drones in development, or they're discussing about it. And when they take a life, it'll be premeditated homicide. So we as a society have to decide who makes these decisions on who will live and who will die. Will be the governments, the regulators, the programmers, or even better, I thought of this. Will there be job openings that pop up where there will be whole teams just to decide on this? Just to decide on these ethical dilemmas? And I hope you keep thinking, because there is no right answer. There is no right answer. And I don't have one for you today, because this has been one of the hardest things I've ever delved into, and I don't even know. I could give you an answer. I don't think it'll be the right one. But if you ask me today, and you ask me in 20 years from now, I think I'll give you very different answers.